So shall we begin, sir? Good morning, friends from the media. I would like to formally welcome you to this press conference by the Election Commission on forthcoming assembly polls to the 5 states of Mizoram, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Telangana. I have with me the Honorable Chief Election Commissioner, Shri Rajiv Kumar ji, the Honorable Election Commissioner, Shri Anup Chandra Pandey ji, and the Honorable Election Commissioner, Shri Arun Goyal ji. We also have with us today senior officials from the ECI headquarters. I'm B. Narayanan, DG Media for the Commission. The format is as follows. There will be opening remarks by the CEC along with presentation. We will share the PDF copy of the presentation with all of you after the event is over. Following this, there will be a brief question and answer session. When you want to ask a question, raise your hand. Wait for the chance to be called to put your question. I will direct the micer to come to you. When it's your turn, introduce yourself and your organization and then ask your questions. Please keep your mobiles on silent mode. Sir, I request you to deliver your opening remarks.
My colleague, Honorable Election Commissioner Shri Anup Chand Pandey ji on my right side and Shri Arun Goyal ji on my left, ECI officials and friends from media in such a large number. Very good morning to you. I hope you had a good weekend. You were all worried that the conference may happen during weekend. So I hope you had a good weekend. And it's a good starting on Monday. Friends, as you are aware, we have gathered here today to declare the schedule for the elections to the legislative assemblies of Mizoram, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and Telangana. And we have gathered here today after a significant hiatus of 6 months. We met last. And as we stand on the cusp of elections in these states, it is worth noting that these polls hold a unique significance, not only for the residents of these states, but also for the nation. We will now, after this, meet in this form for the 24 elections. In the span of 40 days, the Commission has visited 5 states, all the 5 states, and held very detailed discussions with the political parties there, with the enforcement agencies of the central government and the state government. For example, all across the spectrum, to just tell you, income tax, excise, DRI, narcotics, coastal guards, state police, banks, uh, RBI, civil aviation, everyone, whosoever is involved in some form of enforcement for the elections, RPF, Railway Protection Force, GRP, so everyone. So what transpired, what did they tell us, and what did we told them, all that I will brief you. We met the political parties representatives और उनके भी जितने सुझाव, जितने फीडबैक थे वो हम सब लोगों ने लिए. उसके बारे में भी मैं थोड़ा आपको बताऊंगा. I'll use this opportunity to brief you about what had happened during these last 6 months when we have started the preparation for the elections. मुझे मालूम है कि आप लोग शेड्यूल जानने के लिए इच्छुक हैं ज़्यादा, लेकिन इस अपॉर्चुनिटी को हम यूज़ करेंगे आपको ये बताने के लिए कि कितनी मेहनत इन चुनावों को कराने के लिए होती है. So friends, just to give you an overview, the Mizoram Assembly's term is on 17th December 23. Then all of the others in the latest by 16th of January 24. And there are total assembly constituencies, number is 679 if you total up assembly constituencies of Mizoram, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Telangana. तो जो ये 679 assembly constituencies हैं, वो पूरी कंट्री की 4200 लगभग लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज का 1/6 है. और इसी प्रकार से जो इनके इलेक्टर्स हैं जो 16.14 करोड़ है कंबाइंडली, वो भी लगभग लगभग 95 करोड़ वोटर्स के 1/6 है. So the entire country, by that standard, would be going to polls in almost in the 1/6 of the country's spread of the voters and the assembly constituencies. The general overview, if we were to give you, the Mizoram has 8.52 lakh voters, Chhattisgarh 2.03, Madhya Pradesh 5.6, Rajasthan 5.2, Telangana 3.17, and total voters in these states would be uh, totaling to 8.2 crore male and 7.8 crore female voters. Very interesting fact is that first time voters in these states would be 60.2 lakhs. I would elaborate on this point little later when I come to that. But this emphasis during the special summary revision in these states has been such that we have concentrated on the enrollment of the young voters, PWD voters, 80 plus voters, centenarian voters, and also the improving the election gender ratio for these states. अगर आप देखेंगे तो जो पीडब्ल्यूडी हैं उसके टोटल वोटर्स की संख्या 17.34 लाख है, which is who are also entitled to vote from the comfort of their home if they are not able to come to the polling station. Similarly, 80 plus 24.7 and centenarian voters 32,410. All these three categories को पहली बार असेंबली इलेक्शंस में अपने घर से वोट की सुविधा प्राप्त होगी. और फ्रेंड्स, द लास्ट कॉलम अगर आप देखेंगे, इलेक्टर जेंडर रेशियो, तो दो स्टेट में ये जेंडर रेशियो ज्यादा फेवरेबल है विमेन का. इट इज 1063 एंड 1012, विच इज अ वेरी हैप्पी स्टेट. इन अदर स्टेट्स ऑल्सो it has improved because of the special efforts undertaking during the SSR. और इस SSR की वजह से इन सब में भी ये इलेक्टरल रेशियो काफी बड़ा है. तेलंगाना इज ऑल्सो वेरी हाई 9998, and so there is improvement even in the Rajasthan. Now, if you look at the inclusive electoral roll, we are emphasizing a lot. Let me repeat. जो इलेक्टरल रोल है वो पूरी तरीके से प्योर हो, वो पूरी तरीके से हेल्दी हो, इसके ऊपर में बहुत एम्फेसिस है. और ये भी मैं आपको अभी बताऊंगा कि जो एसएसआर पूरी कंट्री का है वो भी शुरू होने वाला है. सो जस्ट टू से दैट वुमेन वोटर्स, यंग वोटर्स, particularly vulnerable tribal groups, persons with disabilities, senior citizens, transgenders, सबके ऊपर में इस एसएसआर में जो इन 5 स्टेट्स में हुआ विशेष अभियान चलाया गया, ताकि पूरा का पूरा जो इलेक्टरल रूल है उसमें पहले सबको शामिल करें और फिर सबको हम वोटर पोलिंग स्टेशन पे लेके आए. So this is the effort. How do we first enter them into the roll and then bring them to the poll? So from roll to poll is the emphasis by which we are all working. So now, friends, very interesting and a special effort which the commission is undertaking. ये जो पर्टिकुलरली वल्नरेबल ट्राइबल ग्रुप्स हैं पूरी कंट्री में 75 ऐसी कम्युनिटीज हैं, और कमीशन ने ये बीड़ा उठाया है कि हम इनको सबको जो लास्ट पंक्ति में हैं, दे आर ऑलमोस्ट द लोएस्ट in the human development indices in the entire country, in the amongst the voters. So we will enroll them fully. And as a happy reporting to you, in these 4 states we have 12 PVTGs and they have been enrolled 100%. तो ये हमें बड़ी खुशी का विषय है कि 100% एनरोल हुई हैं, और हम आपको ये भी दिखाएंगे कि इनको किस प्रकार से हम पोलिंग स्टेशंस में लाने की कोशिश करेंगे. अगर यूथ की बात करें तो 60 लाख जो यूथ हैं वो ऐसे हैं जो फर्स्ट टाइम वोटर्स होंगे 18 to 19 years in these 5 states. And as you are all aware, there was an amendment for qualifying dates to be changed to 4 dates instead of the 1st January of the every year. So उसकी वजह से 15.39 lakh voters are such who are completing their 18th year after the 1st January 2023. And because of this amendment, 15.3 lakh voters would be able to exercise their franchise in this election. This is the positive effect and of that amendment which we brought. And in line of that, we are also taking up to showcase that these 2,900 plus polling stations would be managed by our youngest employees, so that we also focus on and tackle the youth apathy which we keep encountering in states after states. Similarly, if we come to women, as I mentioned earlier, women का जो gender ratio है वो भी लगातार improve हो रहा है. So Chhattisgarh has improved from 18 from 995 to 1012. For Madhya Pradesh from 917 to a jump of 945. Mizoram again from 1051 to 1063 gender ratio. And Rajasthan and also Telangana from 982 to 998. And net addition of the female electors, which is also a very happy state for us, is 23.6 lakhs. तो अब एफर्ट ये है कि उनको पहले हमने पोल में जोड़ दिया और अब हम उनको पोलिंग स्टेशंस पर लेके आए बाय प्रोवाइडिंग देम ऑल काइंड्स ऑफ फैसिलिटीज व्हिच आर पॉसिबल. हाउ डू वी डू दैट? So if you look at the inclusive and pure nature of the electoral roll, since the efforts we are making after the second SSR, which happened in these 5 going states, 57.89 lakhs is the total addition. And this happened, there is an house to house survey which is happening which happened in these states and which is also happening in the entire country in a run up to the SSR for the entire country. Deletions were 20.59 lakhs, and most importantly the modifications. किसी का एड्रेस गलत है, किसी का फोटो ठीक नहीं है, किसी का फोन नंबर डाला हुआ नहीं है, सबके लिए 22.35 लाख मॉडिफिकेशंस और 18 to 19 एज ग्रुप में 18.37 लाख एडिशंस. ये सभी स्लाइड्स की कॉपी आपको साइड बाय साइड मिल रही होगी. These are being put on the media website and all. So you don't have to repeat this. I am sure you are getting it side by side, and it will be posted also in our website immediately. Next. Before coming to the overview of polling stations, friends, through you, let me tell everybody, all voters in the country, that the general SSR hai, summary revision for the year 24 would start from 17/10/23. ड्राफ्ट रोल्स विल बी पब्लिश्ड ऑन 17/10/23. तो मेरे सभी वोटर्स से आपके माध्यम से अनुरोध है कि अपना अपना नाम देखें, अपना अपना पोलिंग स्टेशन देखें. कोई भी नाम किसी को ऐड कराना है या हमारे यंग वोटर्स को तो ऐड कराएं, महिलाओं को जिसको भी ऐड कराना है ऐड कराएं उसमें. किसी को चेंज करना है, फोटो चेंज करनी है, मोबाइल नंबर लिखना है तो लिखाएं. घर घर में हाउस टू हाउस सर्वे would be undertaken by BLOs from 17/10/23 to 30/11/23, यानी 17 अक्टूबर 23 से 30 नवंबर 23 तक पूरी कंट्री में किसी को भी वोटर लिस्ट से संबंधित कोई भी एडिशन कराना है, डिलीशन कराना है, कोई भी नाम में मॉडिफिकेशन कराना है, एवरीबडी इज वेलकम टू डू दिस either through BLO or through the voter helpline BHA application. You can directly do this. So I would appeal through you to everybody to kindly make these changes. Friends, now coming to the polling stations, there would be 1.77 lakh polling stations in these 5 states, and of which 1.01 would have webcasting facility. We have prescribed 50% webcasting, and with a liberty to the states on the basis of vulnerabilities to increase it on their own. So this would be close to 1.01 lakh. Then all this would be monitored through the control rooms, and the number of women managed polling stations there would be 17,734 polling stations, which will be model polling stations. There would be PWD managed polling stations, 621, and women managed would be 8,192, more than one in most of the constituencies. Coming to the assured minimum facilities, every polling station would have toilet, drinking water, ramp, light, help desk, signage. Sabhi polling stations पे सुविधा. Through the medium of the voting, it gets reflected, and we showcase and we put an example before the society that yes, at the polling station, when we can do this respect uh, and the separate treatment for them, which is their due, why can't we do it elsewhere in the society? So this is our modest effort to bring this fact into the limelight. Uh, Coming to the elderly voters, as you know, in all these states also, they will have the facility to vote from their home. फॉर्म 12D 5 दिन के अंदर वो भर सकते हैं. सिमिलरली नेक्स्ट, ये भी एक बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग है स्लाइड जो आपको दिखाना था. बहुत सी जगह ऐसी हैं जहां पर हम लोग अंदर जा रहे हैं ताकि हर वोटर के पास पहुंच सकें. अगर आप फर्स्ट स्लाइड देखेंगे, ये फर्स्ट टाइम पोलिंग स्टेशन है. 8 किलोमीटर इससे बचेगा चलना. जगदलपुर, बस्तर, छत्तीसगढ़, दिस इज दोज एरियाज. सिमिलरली इन राजस्थान, दिस इज ऑल्सो न्यू बूथ. तो एक स्पेशल कोशिश है कि जो लोग को कम से कम चलना पड़े. वैसे भी हमारा नियम है कि 2 किलोमीटर के अंदर में हम देंगे, बट जहां पॉसिबल नहीं था वहां भी हम भर रहे हैं. इसी प्रकार से जो हमारे, मैंने आपको बताया था, पर्टिकुलरली वल्नरेबल ट्राइबल ग्रुप्स हैं, उनके लिए भी हम स्पेशल पोलिंग स्टेशंस बना रहे हैं. बफर जोन ऑफ फैन के अंदर में ये पोलिंग स्टेशन होगा, जो कि मांडला एमपी में, जस्ट दी शोकेसिंग. और अगर आप नेक्स्ट वाला देखें, पिपरिया डिस्ट्रिक्ट, नर्मदा एमपी, इसमें 165 kilometers from district headquarters, tribal dominated district. People will go, and this is the kind of rivers and all terrain they will cross. This is in Mizoram, 22 non-motorable polling stations. तो ये सिर्फ इसलिए आपको दिखा रहा है कि जो पोलिंग पर्सनल है वो कितनी मेहनत से, कितनी दूर में अपना ड्यूटी करने जाते हैं. और 6 महीने की तैयारी सिर्फ इसीलिए है जिससे कि सबको सुविधाएं मिल जाएं. और इसीलिए आई विल लाइक टू अपील थ्रू यू टू ऑल दी वोटर्स ऑफ दीज 5 स्टेट्स कि अगर हमने इतनी मेहनत की है तो आप भी कम से कम वोट देने के लिए जरूर आए. स्पेशल रिक्वेस्ट टू यूथ, विमेन एंड दी पीपल लिविंग इन अर्बन एरियाज, दोज वेयर वी सी अ लिटिल एपैथी. फ्रेंड्स, आपको पहले भी ये बताया है हमने कि सी विजिल के माध्यम से कोई भी शिकायत कर सकता है किसी भी तरीके की इंड्यूसमेंट की, और जिसके पास हम 100 मिनट में पहुंचेंगे. और इसका प्रयोग में रिसेंटली हेल्ड इलेक्शंस में हमें काफी शिकायतें मिली हैं और इंड्यूसमेंट रोकने में भी मदद मिली है. नो योर कैंडिडेट्स, ये हम हर स्टेट में दिखा चुके हैं कि किसी की भी अगर आपराधिक पृष्ठभूमि है तो उस आपराधिक पृष्ठभूमि वाले कैंडिडेट को अपने बारे में 3 बार न्यूज़पेपर में देना पड़ेगा, टीवी में देना पड़ेगा, और उसकी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी को भी आगे बढ़ के ये लिखना पड़ेगा कि उन्होंने ऐसे कैंडिडेट को क्यों चुना. क्या उस कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में जो आपराधिक पृष्ठभूमि के कैंडिडेट चुने गए हैं उनके अतिरिक्त कोई और उपलब्ध नहीं था. Once they give this information, it is for the voter to decide on the basis of an informed choice as to what he wants to do. Another new initiative we have taken is on the integrated election expenditure monitoring. कुछ समय पहले, और इसके भी बहुत अच्छे रिजल्ट्स हम सोचते हैं हमें मिलेंगे, और ये एक ट्रांसपेरेंसी और ईज ऑफ कंप्लायंस के लिए नया इनिशिएटिव है, जिसमें जो पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज हैं उनको 31 अक्टूबर तक कंट्रीब्यूशन रिपोर्ट देनी होती है कि उन्हें कहां से कितने पैसे मिले, और उसी के बेसिस पे उनको इनकम टैक्स की छूट मिलती है. तो पीछे ये देखने में आया था कि इसके बारे में कुछ सूचनाएं समय पर भी नहीं आती थी, और कुछ ऐसे केस भी थे जिसमें छूट नहीं वाजिब होने के बाद भी ले ली गई थी. तो इन सभी चीजों को भरने के लिए, कंप्लीट करने के लिए, नाउ न्यू IT system has been started, and in which the contribution report, which is due of every year by 31st October, would have to be filled. Similarly, annual audit reports political parties को अब इसी IT tools में डिजिटल मोड में देनी पड़ेंगे. और एक और रिपोर्ट उन्हें देनी होती है पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज को आफ्टर एवरी इलेक्शन, जिसमें वो रिपोर्ट 30 दिन के अंदर देनी होती है जैसे ही चुनाव खत्म हो, और 75 डेज के अंदर में फाइनल रिपोर्ट, ताकि उस इलेक्शन में कितना खर्चा पॉलिटिकल पार्टी ने किया. तो अब हमारे पास किस कैंडिडेट ने कितना खर्चा किया ये तो होगा, साथ ही साथ पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज ने इलेक्ट्रॉनिक सिस्टम के थ्रू ये भी होगा. दिस विल हेल्प in ease for the political parties to fill up these details online, and would also help us in keeping it at one place and do whatever uh, assessment and analytics is possible in addition to housekeeping. Similarly, जो इंड्यूसमेंट फ्री इलेक्शंस का फोकस चुनाव आयोग और गंभीरता के साथ दे रहा है, उसके लिए भी एक इलेक्शन सीजर मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम इस बार नया शुरू किया जा रहा है इन 5 असेंबली इलेक्शंस में. व्हाट इज दिस? जितनी भी एनफोर्समेंट एजेंसीज हैं, हम सबको कुछ ना कुछ स्ट्रॉन्ग डायरेक्शंस देते हैं, जो मैं इसके तुरंत बाद आपको दिखाऊंगा बिफोर कमिंग टू द शेड्यूल, कि आप जो भी सीजर कर रहे हैं उसको भरिए. डोंट वर्क इन साइलोज, work in a coordinated manner, but it doesn't get coordinated often. So this system will give an access, will onboard all the central and state enforcement agencies during the election period, and they will have to report as soon as any action they take. And if they don't fill up, it will also tell us that for so long no action has been taken by a particular agency. This will also help us in compiling, do the trend analysis, do various kinds of things possible in that particular state. और आप सब अवगत हैं कि हर स्टेट के बहुत सारे स्टेट स्पेसिफिक इंड्यूसमेंट रिलेटेड इश्यूज हैं. अगर मिजोरम में इंटरनेशनल बॉर्डर है, तो राजस्थान में भी वही इशू है, तो कहीं पर इंटर स्टेट ड्रग्स की प्रॉब्लम है, तो कहीं पर एक्सेस कैश और मनी पावर की प्रॉब्लम है. All that with the help of the respective enforcement agencies would get collated, and we hope would also get analyzed on a far more real time basis, so that we can take corrective actions and we can nudge them or we can appreciate them. In this reference, we have got some checkpost established, which is in Mizoram, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Telangana, in all 940 checkposts. These 940 checkposts belong to different enforcement agencies, which is namely, by and large, police, state police, excise, commercial taxes, forest and transport. तो इन सब पांचों की जो पावर्स हैं, वो अपने अपने एक्ट के अंदर में अलग अलग पावर्स हैं. Now what we have directed them to do a coordinated effort, pool their resources, establish synergies. पांचों एक साथ मिलके काम करें. और क्या काम करें? इन 940 प्लस चेक पोस्ट पर इंटरस्टेट बॉर्डर्स में they will keep a very strong watch, and we have almost told them to dry up inflow of cash, liquor and drugs. आपको जब पिछले कर्नाटका इलेक्शन हुआ, तो वहां जाने के बाद जब हम रिव्यू करके आए, तो जो 2018 का सीजर था, वो एमसीसी अनाउंस होने तक उससे ज्यादा स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ऑफिशियल्स ने कर दिया था. सो दिस इज ए रिन्यूड फोकस. एंड all the checking of cargo movement through non-scheduled chartered flights. This we will issue the guidelines also in greater detail. ऐसी संभावना होती है कि जो पैसेंजर्स के अलावा कार्गो मूवमेंट्स है, उसमें भी कुछ ना कुछ इन पोल बाउंड स्टेट्स में कोई मटेरियल इंड्यूसमेंट के थ्रू जा सकता है. कार्गो के पार्सल्स का रेलवे और पोस्टल डिपार्टमेंट के थ्रू भी चेकिंग शुरू हो. मनी पावर, all these agencies have been strictly asked to keep strict vigil and report in the system, which we have stated just before this. Number of observers will be deputed, the general observers, police observers and the expenditure observers, and adequate CAPF. Similarly, the directions again, at the polling stations, wherever necessary, we will keep the female staff to check impersonation. We will keep polling parties to move only in the official vehicles, ताकि जैसे पिछले चुनाव में एक आध जगह एक प्राइवेट व्हीकल में बैठ गए थे, उस तरह की घटना ना हो. ये भी कहा गया है स्पेसिफिकली कि वोटर इंफॉर्मेशन स्लिप्स को चुनाव से कम, ऐसा नहीं कि पहले दिन या दूसरे दिन में ही दें, एक आध हफ्ता पहले कम से कम जरूर बांट दें, so that people can know which booth, which place. Though we request them to check that much in advance on the voter helpline app. नया एक और चेंज इस बार किया गया है बिकॉज ऑफ द एक्सपीरियंस विच वी हैड इन सर्टेन स्टेट्स. जो पोलिंग पर्सनल हैं उनको पोस्टल बैलेट मिलता था, और पोस्टल बैलेट मिलने के बाद वो उसको घर ले जा सकते थे और कभी भी बाई पोस्ट भेज सकते थे टिल दी डेट ऑफ काउंटिंग. दैट्स द स्टैंडर्ड प्रैक्टिस फॉर द पोस्टल बैलेट. इट हैज बीन चेंज्ड नाउ. ये इसलिए कि बहुत सारे पोलिंग पर्सनल्स कुछ कुछ स्टेट में कंबाइन होके पोस्ट पोल अपनी कोई न्यूसेंस वैल्यू क्रिएट करते हैं, बिकॉज मार्जिन्स बहुत कम होते हैं. तो अगर 100, 200, 400 लोग भी मिल जाएं तो वो इन्फ्लुएंस कर सकते हैं. सो दिस कुड बी ए पोस्ट पोल opportunity for some to influence the voters or influence the results. Therefore, all of them now onwards in all the elections will vote only at the facilitation center when they come for training. This is before, so this will be physically collected, and the postal ballot facility is available in the same sense, but at the facilitation center. Next, now coming to friends, after mentioning that we are focusing far more on the inducement free elections because money power is one thing which we want to restrict. We now will come to the schedule which you are awaiting state by state. And now to start with from the Mizoram, the date of poll will be 7th November, and date of counting would be 3rd, which is common, of course, for all these states. And elections in all these states would be completed by 5th of December. So date of poll is 7th November. Similarly, in case of Chhattisgarh, the elections would be in 2 phases. The date of poll would be 7th November and 17th November. The nominations after Mizoram in the for the first phase of the Chhattisgarh would happen on 20th, the 13th, and the last date would be 20th. Date of poll being 7th November, and for phase 2, 17th November. In Madhya Pradesh, this coincides with the second phase of Chhattisgarh, and date of poll would be 7th November. So, first Mizoram and the first phase of Chhattisgarh, then second phase of Chhattisgarh, and one phase in Madhya Pradesh. Thereafter, Rajasthan, where the date of poll will be 23rd November in one phase entirely in Rajasthan. The date of issue of Gazette notification would be 30th October, and date of counting for everyone being 3rd of December. Telangana would go last to the poll, and date of poll is 30th November, with the date of issue of Gazette notification being 3rd of November. And the entire election process would be complete by 5th of December. So this is what is the schedule. And again, I request all of you, through all of you, to all the voters to please come and exercise in the festival of democracy in a true sense. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for those detailed remarks, sir. Just hold on. Just hold on. Floor is open for questions. Don't stand up. Just keep sitting and just put up your hands, and I'll direct the micer to come to you.
ये पांचों स्लाइड्स की डेट वैसे अभी आपको भेज दिया होगा.
So it's being tweeted to you.
It's being tweeted, but हम दोबारा रिपीट कर दीजिए.
Yeah.
मिजोरम, visible to all. Next. Next. Madhya Pradesh, date of poll 17th November. Rajasthan, 23rd November. And Telangana, 30th November. We are doing counting on 3rd of December and finishing the entire election exercise on 5th of December 23.
Yeah, floor is open for questions. Gentleman in the first row. Yeah. Unko mic de dijiye. We'll come to you next. appointing a second.
गुड आफ्टरनून सर, मोहित दुबे हूँ सर, न्यूज़ नेशन चैनल से। सर मेरा सवाल ये है कि खासतौर पे अगर छत्तीसगढ़ और तेलंगाना के परिप्रेक्ष्य में है, छत्तीसगढ़ में 2 चरणों में आप मतदान करा रहे हैं, नक्सल प्रभावित इलाका है कई। सरकार का दावा है कि नक्सलिज्म तो हमने खत्म कर दिया है, लेकिन इस बार भी आप 2 चरणों में मतदान करा रहे हैं। कितनी बड़ी चुनौती जो है नक्सल प्रभावित इलाकों में होगी आपको मतदान कराने के मद्देनजर, क्योंकि 7 राज्यों की सीमा छत्तीसगढ़ से जुड़ती है, जैसा आपने कहा। इसके अलावा तेलंगाना के भीतर पिछले चुनाव में तमाम कैश और लिकर की बरामदगी हुई थी। इस बार कितनी चुनौती तेलंगाना और छत्तीसगढ़ में आपको लेकर होने वाली है?
Yeah, gentleman in the second row there. Yeah, mic is coming to you. Just wait. Yeah.
सर मैं श्रीकांत भाटिया हूं, संवाद सिंधी न्यूज़पेपर और हमारी नजर न्यूज चैनल है। सर ये आचार संहिता के जो उल्लंघन होते हैं इलेक्शंस में, देखा गया है कि कोई एक्शन नहीं होता, सिर्फ आचार संहिता उल्लंघन के केस दर्ज हो जाते हैं। तो सर कोई आपके पास डेटा है कि लास्ट इलेक्शन में आचार संहिता उल्लंघन में क्या लीगल एक्शन लिया गया कैंडिडेट के खिलाफ? और पॉलिटिकल, एक छोटा सवाल सर, आपने कहा कि जो कैंडिडेट पैसा खर्च करता है उसका रिकॉर्ड यहाँ रखा जाएगा, क्या वो रिकॉर्ड आम पब्लिक देख सकती है कि किस कैंडिडेट ने इलेक्शन में और किस पार्टी ने कितना पैसा खर्च किया?
Yeah, gentleman in the second row there. In the middle of that row, please.
सर मैं प्रदीप कुमार, टोटल न्यूज से। सर मेरा सवाल यह है कि आपने आपराधिक छवि वालों का जो जिक्र किया है और उसको लेकर जो एक्शन की बात की है और जो प्रचार भी करना होगा उनको 3 बार बताना, लेकिन क्या ऐसे आपराधिक छवि वाले, उनकी रोकथाम को लेकर इसके अलावा आपके पास क्या उपाय रहेगा, और अगर जानकारी नहीं मिलती तब एक्शन क्या होगा?
The lady at the back over there. Yeah. Yeah, give it to the lady. Yeah.
Amitu Jain from The Wire. मेरा सवाल इलेक्टोरल रोल्स की प्योरिटी को लेके है। आपने बोला है कि जो BLO होगा वो जो डेटा है वो अपडेट करेगा। सवाल ये है कि BLO कितना कंप्यूटर savvy है ये डेटा अपलोड करने के लिए, और ये डेटा वो खुद अपलोड करता है या इज इट आउटसोर्स टू somebody else जो ये काम करेगा? Or if it is outsourced, then what is the procedure that is followed for outsourcing this work to somebody who would be uploading this data?
Thank you. Just we'll have another round later. Okay.
छत्तीसगढ़ में चुनाव के विषय में आपने प्रश्न पूछा। देखिए, हर नागरिक को, हर वोटर को हम रजिस्टर करें और हर वोटर के पास में हम बूथ लेके जाएं ताकि वो अपना वोट डाल सके और उसको सारी सूचना जो उसको इन्फॉर्म डिसीजन लेने के लिए आवश्यक है वो उस तक पहुंचाएं। Phase 1, Phase 2 in all the elections that will be done, और उसके लिए व्यापक व्यवस्था की गई है। इसलिए हमें सबको अपील है कि वो सब वोट देने आए और जो जहां भी जितनी भी सुविधाएं और जितनी भी सुरक्षा देने का जरूरत है वो असेसमेंट करके उतनी वहां प्रोवाइड की जाएगी। कैश और फ्रीबीज, कैश, फ्रीबीज, ड्रग्स, लिकर, कंज्यूमेबल गुड्स, ये मेनेस है, हम लोग उसके प्रति पूरी तरीके से सजग हैं। जस्ट गिव यू ए स्मॉल फिगर, जो अभी पीछे 6 इलेक्शंस हुए हैं उसमें अगर मैं आपको अलग से भी दिलवा दूंगा, लेकिन लगातार उनमें वृद्धि का जो प्रतिशत है, इन सम स्टेट्स इट इज अप टू 6000%, बट इन ओवरेज इट इज, मैं बताता ही हूं आपको एग्जैक्ट। कर्नाटका was 83 crores in 2017. First, I will speak the last election figure, then the recent. 83, which has increased to 384 crores. Tripura was 1.79 crores, increased to 45 crores. और त्रिपुरा में violence, you all remember, zero, repoll zero, and this was the kind of improvement in the seizures. So what we are trying to do is to improve the overall environment of elections, be it violence, be it freebies, be it the ease of voting for the thing, be it the improvement in the human face of the entire electoral roll, transgenders, PBTGs. So it's an overall qualitative and quantitative change in the electoral roll, also in the way elections are held. Nagaland, 4 crore to 50 crore. We used to be concentrating more on the peaceful elections, which happened there. Simultaneously, this also happened. Meghalaya, 1.1 to 74 crores. All these figures we will get put on the social media also. Gujarat, 27 crores to 800 crores. We caught huge drugs factory. Similarly, in UP elections, it was caught through the seas. HP, 9 crore to 57. Uttarakhand, 6 to 18. So, likewise, in all these states, and therefore, are very strict instructions to all the enforcement agencies, and we mean business. We have told them. It is not that हमने बोला और हम बोल के उनको वापस चले आए, नहीं. Railways, airports, private airfields, private unscheduled flights, drugs, borders, national and international, both. Storage of godown in the godowns. All godowns have been identified by the enforcement agencies in each of these states where there could be a possibility of storage of any material of freebie. So, I think you will get to see the results and then decide for yourself, as I have explained about the 7-8 states. So, we are committed, and also more responsibility on us to prove this in these 5 elections, because we want to go clean and far more into the 24 elections. आचार संहिता का इलेक्शन आपने उल्लंघन पूछा. आचार संहिता का उल्लंघन जैसे जैसे होता है उस पर हर एक पर कार्रवाई होती है. आप देखने से शायद रह गए होंगे, ये सब उपलब्ध हैं और उसमें लार्ज नंबर में हर स्टेट्स में हुई हैं. लोगों को जिन्होंने कहा है उनको वार्निंग्स दी गई हैं, केसेस हुए हैं, और उन केसेस को हम जब भी वहां जाते हैं रिव्यू करते हैं. आपराधिक छवि के लोगों के बारे में जो प्रश्न पूछा गया, उनको वो एडवर्टाइजमेंट देना मस्ट है. That is what is the extent legal provisions as of now, regulatory framework, that उनके बारे में बताना वोटर्स को, ये हमारा कार्य है. जब एक बार वोटर को बताया तो उसको इन्फॉर्म चॉइस कि वो किसको वोट देंगे, ये उनका कार्य है. जो आपने इलेक्टरल रूल्स की प्योरिटी के बारे में पूछा और वर्क आउटसोर्स टू आउटसाइडर्स, there is no electoral roll related work which is ever outsourced to anybody. So let us clarify this all over again. किसी के पास में भी, it is again through you, the SSR work is starting in the entire country, except the officials or the government servants and the BLOs. Nobody is authorized to do any kind of survey or electoral related roles in the country. So much so, even the awareness works which the civil society does is not to involve in the profiling of the voter at all. So this is absolutely clear. और वोटर्स के घर में हाउस टू हाउस BLOs जाएंगे. और जहां तक आपने इलेक्टरल रोल्स की और BLO की कॉम्पिटेंस की बात की, सो देखिए, जब 18 साल में सबसे पहले वोटर बड़ा होता है तो मोरलेस इंडिपेंडेंटली सरकारी तंत्र से सबसे पहले जो उसका एक कॉन्टेक्ट होता है वो BLO से होता है, बिकॉज ही इज एंटाइटल्ड टू गेट ए वोट. सो आर 10 lakh plus BLOs, and we want to thank them here. They are working very hard, going house to house, doing a survey. And house to house survey is available to them, and there is a application IT based which is available to them, and all of them by and large using that application, and also what they do, they are maintaining a BLO register. It is the purity of the electoral rolls in terms of all the parameters, like how much should be the 18 to 19 cohort, how much should be the 80 plus cohort, how much should be the women, how much they should compare to the population growth, how much transgender should be there, how much 80 plus there. If transgenders are available in, or PWDs are available in a particular state through social justice department, we go and cross check कि उसके बराबर हमारे यहाँ आ गए कि नहीं आ गए. So electoral rolls purity is something which is our constitutional mandate, and we are very confident that we are doing it.
Yeah, we'll take another round of questions. The gentleman at the last, followed by the lady over here in the middle. Yeah, the last row. Yeah, give it to him. The gentleman over there who's standing, who's sitting behind you, right? You, yeah, that one.
सर मैं पीयूष पांडे हूँ TV9 भारतवर्ष से. मेरा सवाल ये है कि फ्रीबीज को लेकर के आपने उसकी क्या परिभाषा रखी है, क्योंकि चुनाव के दौरान उसकी अलग परिभाषा है और चुनाव के बाद उसकी अलग परिभाषा है.
Okay, the lady in the middle, please give her the mic. Someone just hand over the mic to her. Yeah, in the middle row. Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Arunima from CNN News 18. Here, sir. If you could clarify for Chhattisgarh, since it's two-phase, the entire Naxal-affected area of Bastar goes to polls in first phase. If you
Right.
could just clarify that.
Yeah, the gentleman here in the middle
The
row.
southern part goes to the poll in first phase. The part which is adjoining the Madhya Pradesh and to the northern side goes in the second phase.
Yeah.
मैं रवि त्रिपाठी हूँ जी न्यूज से. पोस्टल बैलेट को लेकर आपने इम्पोर्टेंट बात आज कही है. क्या इस बात की शिकायत कई पॉलिटिकल पार्टी ने की, और क्या इन चुनाव में इसको लेकर धांधली हो रही थी, इसका दुरुपयोग हो रहा था, इसकी वजह से ये बदलाव किया गया है पोस्टल बैलेट में जो आपने कहा है अभी हाल में?
The lady over there in the fourth row. Yeah.
Question is related to Jammu and Kashmir Assembly elections. It's been a long time since we've been waiting for you to announce the polls. What is holding up the Election Commission in announcing these polls? And have you had any discussions with the government on scheduling of these polls?
Can you just introduce yourself?
I'm Bharti Jain from the Times of India.
Thank you. Yeah, second row or left.
That's
Yeah.
the last.
That's the last one. Yeah.
सर मैं अरविंद हूँ दैनिक जागरण से. मेरा सवाल है फ्रीवीज से जुड़ा हुआ है कि जिस तरह से पॉलिटिकल पार्टी में फ्रीवीज को लेकर प्रतिस्पर्धा बड़ी तेजी से बढ़ी है, इसको आयोग किस तरीके से देख रहा है और इस पर क्या कुछ अंकुश लगाने की भी जरूरत समझता है?
Yeah, I think that's the last. That will be the last one.
सर मैं अनिरुद्ध हूँ दैनिक भास्कर से. अभी 3 दिन पहले मध्य प्रदेश के एक लीडर ने कहा कि अगर अपनी अपोजिट पार्टी के बारे में कि अगर उस पार्टी को वहां से 0 वोट मिलेगा तो मैं उस बूथ के इंचार्ज को 51,000 रुपए दूंगा. तो क्या इस तरह की जो गतिविधि है उसको आप किस तरह से लेते हैं और इसका कैसे निवारण करेंगे?
Thank you.
3 questions: postal ballot, J&K, and freebies, and that's the last. Postal ballot का दुरुपयोग we will not say, but postal ballot, voters using postal ballots becoming a force and a interest group and deciding after the poll as to where to cast the vote was not perceived, was not the right practice. जब पोलिंग हो गई उसके बाद एक असेसमेंट करिए कि क्या मार्जिन हो सकते हैं, क्या नहीं हो सकते हैं, और उस कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी के अगर गवर्नमेंट सर्वेंट्स पोस्टल बैलेट वाले मिलके एक बार्गेन शुरू कर दें, सो उनके अपने कुछ भी इंटरेस्ट बहुत जगह में होते हैं, वो कर दें, तो दैट वाज नॉट जायज. एंड दे एवरीबडी मस्ट, यू हैव ए फैसिलिटी, यू मस्ट डू इट देयर. सो दैट इज वन. J&K के इलेक्शन के बारे में जो भी सही समय होगा, कमीशन के नजर में सिक्योरिटी and other elections in the state which are also simultaneously due के साथ में देख के इसका निर्णय आपको सूचित करेंगे, जैसे भी हम करें। फ्रीबीज, फ्रीबीज के बारे में जैसे आपने कहा कि किसी स्टेट में कोई अनाउंसमेंट, किसी स्टेट में कोई अनाउंसमेंट, तो पता नहीं क्यों 5 साल याद नहीं आती, लास्ट में ही महीने 15 दिन में सारे अनाउंसमेंट्स की याद आती है। बट एनीवे, दैट इज विद इन द डोमेन ऑफ द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स। बट आपको जैसे अवगत होगा, कमीशन ने एक परफॉर्मा इशू किया था, जिसमें ये बताने के लिए प्रस्ताव एक कंसल्टेशन पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज के साथ की गई थी, एंड दैट परफॉर्मा इज इन पब्लिक डोमेन. इट इज अवेलेबल हियर ऑल्सो. इफ यू कैन सी, यू कैन रीड इट ऑन द वेबसाइट ऑफ द कमीशन. ये क्या कहता है? ये परफॉर्मा बेसिकली ये कहता है कि पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज को अपने मैनिफेस्टो में क्या करेंगे ये बताने का अधिकार है, लेकिन साथ ही साथ वोटर को ये जानने का अधिकार है कि ये कब करेंगे, कितना करेंगे और कैसे करेंगे. तो उसमें क्या कहा गया था? उसमें कहा गया था कि आप बता दीजिए कि डेट टू जीडीपी रेशियो क्या होगा, आप कितना डेट लेंगे, वो क्या रेशियो होगा. इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट टू टोटल रेवेन्यू रिसीट क्या होगा. आपको एफआरबीएम के टारगेट्स तोड़ेंगे नहीं, कितनी तोड़ेंगे, कोई योजना कम करके ये लागू करेंगे क्या, लोगों पर एक्स्ट्रा ऋण, एक्स्ट्रा टैक्स लगाएंगे क्या. So everything comes in the public domain. That was the intention of that. And एक बहुत बड़ी इसमें वो है कि प्रेजेंट वर्सेस फ्यूचर जनरेशंस. आप प्रेजेंट में कितना करना चाहते हैं, और आर यू नॉट मॉर्गेजिंग द फ्यूचर जनरेशन. सो दिस इज अ बैलेंस विच नीड्स टू कम, एंड पीपल, वोटर मस्ट नो कि वो फाइनेंशियल फंडामेंटल्स के बेसिस पे क्या पिक्चर निकल के आती है. एंड इन एनी केस, इन अनाउंसमेंट में तड़का ऑफ पॉपुलिज्म तो है ही है, एक बहुत बड़ा तड़का है पॉपुलिज्म का. तो जो जीत के आता है उसको वो चाहे तो निभाना उस पॉपुलिस्ट प्रॉमिस को, या रोकना, दोनों ही कठिन है. इसलिए पब्लिक हैज ए राइट टू नो कि फ्रीबीज कहां से पूरे होंगे, और वो डिस्क्लोजर्स पब्लिक को इन्फॉर्म चॉइस लेने के लिए होने चाहिए. Commission has already issued this circular, this proforma, had done the political party consultations. But as you are aware, this matter is sub judice, and Commission will act as soon as the clarity and the decision is available on this subject. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks to all of you. That brings us to the end of this press conference. Thank you for that comprehensive briefing, sir. I'd like
increased to 2556. We have made certain changes in the form. If they do not have parents' name or for any reason, whatever their requirements, we have made those changes so that we take in the name of the Guru and others. But the underlying idea is to register all of them. After this, giving you this overview of voters, let me give you an overview of polling stations. There are total 35,356 polling stations. And average number of voters on each is 897. All these slides will be shared with you so that if you want to use, you can use it. The rural areas have 20,000, predominantly more. We'll do around 78% here, the webcasting. Our mandate is to do minimum 50. The CEO is deciding to do it is 27,000. We will have polling stations which will be exclusively managed by the persons with disability, with youth who are young, with women and model PS. Why? The philosophy behind it is to showcase, to tell that this booth is managed by all our women, including security forces, all managed by persons with disabilities. So they are not looking for a sympathy, they are equal to us. So this is how it will happen. Now, coming to the enhanced voter experience, I've said that this is how we will increase the model PS polling stations with PWD so that people have larger comfort while coming to the voters. All polling stations will have minimum facilities of toilet, drinking water, signage, ramp, and also the volunteers for helping the persons with disability. Friends, first time in Telangana, there would be a facility available to all our senior citizens who are 4.43 lakhs, 80 plus, to vote from the comfort of their home if they so want. This is the facility given to them, though it is an administrative exercise for us. We have to go for fetching a vote, but they can apply within 5 days of the notification by filing a form that is called 12T, and we will go to their home, and that whenever we go, so that their vote is not, secrecy is not compromised, this route would be publicized, it would be shared with political parties, it would be videographed, and the privacy would be maintained by making a compartment right there as we do it on the booth. So this is our respect and um, salute to the senior citizens. Similarly, the persons with disabilities can also vote from home, those who have 40% and plus disability. Here, if they want to come to the polling station, which they are, many of them are willing to come to the police station, they are happy coming to the polling station. This is our experience. There would be volunteers, there would be wheelchairs, and there is an IT-based application called Saksham. All the persons with disabilities can book in advance whatever facilitation they want. So now, through you, I want to convey that the polling station is an entity now where we want to express the inclusivity of the society, male, female, 80 plus, transgender, PVTGs, all alike. Therefore, again request to everybody to please come and vote. Now, having told you about the ER and the polling stations, let me come to the some technology part, which is this particular part is called the C Vigil mobile application. It is extremely useful for us, and we request your help in popularizing this to curb the use of money power or any freebies. Please download this app. On this app, you can just take a direct photo of anything which is wrong happening anywhere. If a voter or a candidate or anybody, any citizen who sees that something wrong is happening, which is unethical from the purposes of from the point of view of the elections, like somebody is distributing money, somebody is distributing liquor or freebie or sari or cooker or whatever, take a photo or write a few sentences, post it. Your name is not known. We will not disclose your name, and you don't have to tell your location. The location will automatically be taken through the longitude and latitude of the your location. Your location will be taken. So what does it do? In 100 minutes, we will verify your complaint and convey to you what had happened. Was it true? Was it not true? What action we have taken? So this has helped us in curbing money power in many states. So to the citizens of Telangana and through the help of the friends from the media, please popularize this in the interest of democracy and in the interest of all of us, so that we can curb this misuse of money power. Similarly, there is a voter helpline, as I mentioned about the electoral roll. Please still download this voter helpline and check your voter ID card or check your polling station or any information one wants to know. You can even download your Epic card if your mobile number is fed in the system. So this is for the voters, and the next application is for again the help of the citizens to know what is the uh, know your candidate after the sorry, one is the Subhida portal. The one was for the voter, next is for the candidates. To make the level playing field available to the candidates. If I apply for a ground for a public rally, the party which applies first should get it first. First in, first out. So on this application, this is to bring transparency so that the administration is not partisan. This Suvidha app can be used by all candidates. The next is again very important application, which again we want to request you to popularize, Know Your Candidate. If any candidate has a criminal background, it is all available here for the voter to know and make an informed choice. The affidavit as filed by the candidate is available on this. So entire information is available. This is to encourage and this is to make the voter make the informed choices. Not only this, not only the candidate has to publish in 3 different occasions in the leading newspapers about the criminal background, also the political party will have to tell and publish why they selected a candidate with a criminal background. They also have to publish the reasons so that voters can make the informed choices. There is an urban apathy, again through you we would request, which is set in. The state voter turnout is 73%, but in urban areas it is quite less. So while we have identified 29 ACs in 8 districts with urban agglomerates, there are 24 of these in the GHMC area, and we have a mission 29 to increase the voting percentage in the urban areas. Now, friends, coming to the inducement part and telling you about the strict vigil on the interstate borders. There are 89 police checkposts. As you know, Telangana shares border with 4 states. We have 89 checkposts, total something like 148 checkposts in all, for 88 from police, commercial taxes, excise, forest, all put together, there are 148 checkposts. So now what have we directed for this? How do we curb the money power? We met for the inducement free elections, we met all the enforcement agencies to give you a glimpse of whom all we met. State police, state excise, central GST and custom, state GST, Directorate of Revenue Intelligence, CISF, Income Tax, Enforcement Directorate, State Transport. This list would be given to you, RBI, Civil Aviation, Narcotics, Railways, Forest, everybody, whosoever is involved in enforcement activity was called. So what did we tell them? The first very, very loud and clear message was given to each one of them to act very strictly against the use of money power during elections. They were directed to almost drive the inflow and distribution of liquor, cash, freebies, and drugs. This perception or actual reality of misuse of money power, freebies distribution by various political parties or candidates doesn't augur well for democracy. So we have very, very clearly given them this message. And not that they take action only against small peddlers. They have been asked to identify kingpins of each malpractice. Whosoever is big involved in liquor or drugs or this, they must identify. 48 checkposts, which I mentioned, would all be now be having CCTV coverage, which is to be looked at the control room. What is happening? Online cash transfers, banks have been also directed to keep a watch so that through wallet and all, money doesn't transfer to the voters. SLBC, that is the state level banker committee through RBI, has been told specifically to not allow the cash dispensing vehicles to move after the designated hours. There are possibilities, and there are possibilities that those vans are used for carrying the cash. Special vigil, they have been asked to keep on ambulances, and even if they doubt on the government vehicles, if they feel that can be used to carry the irregular or illegal things. Similarly, there are airports and private and helipads in the state. All the helipads, all the airstrips outside the wherever the non-commercial and unscheduled flights land, where the parties come, candidates come, they will all be manned and checked. Again, an application has been made to coordinate the work of all the enforcement agencies, meaning thereby they don't work in silos. Their reports are available and they report to amongst themselves what is happening and they report to us what are they doing. Similarly, directions were further given to the state enforcement agencies for what? The sensitive goods which can be used as freebies, essentially FMCGs and sarees and cookers and this, that. All the warehouses and godowns, whichever are there in the state and which can store this, they've been asked to keep a vigil and check them. What have we further said that the resources of excise, commercial taxes, police, all must be pooled. Even transport, buses ply without getting any checking done. Railways are also extremely critical for, should be checked thoroughly through the GRP and through the RPF. They have also been directed. Checking of cargo movements through non-scheduled charter flights, as I mentioned, will also be done by the district authorities wherever there are unscheduled flights landing. And then how do we monitor? We'll monitor it through a weekly report of actions taken by different agencies, each one of them. Income tax, ED, customs, excise, every one of them. District election officers and SPs have been directed that number one, if there is a grievance from a political party or the candidate, they must inquire and respond. This is to ensure that there is a level playing field. Whosoever makes a complaint, there must be an answer to this. Voter information slips, so that people are aware as to where their polling station is, should be distributed in advance, not before a day or two of the polling day, so that everybody is aware as to where his polling station is, because there were cases reported to us that even families in some cases are not in the same booth. So they are definitely within 2 kilometers, but still they must be aware as to where they are, and the VIS, voter information slip, must be distributed in time. EVMs and VVPATs and everything should be moved strictly in the official vehicles, nowhere anywhere else. The cases of paid news and any violation on social media is to be strictly checked and monitored by each district through the special cells which they will be forming for this purpose. Some exist, some they will further mention. Now, liquor outlets, they will check the liquor outlets also for any rising trend in the offtake. Means if the consumption was X, if it is suddenly becoming something, so this is to check the outgo from the duty paid and the official shops as well. And in addition, anything which is going beyond this. Police has been very strictly asked to execute all the non-available warrants, whichever are pending, so that no miscreants remain outside till the elections are there, and they are in any case supposed to do this. We'll be also posting female staff to the polling stations to the extent possible to check the possible impersonations. And impersonation in any case is a offense, which you all know. We'll also be deploying observers for free fair elections, general observers, police observers, and also expenditure observers. All three will be deployed. Their phone numbers, their locations where they stay would be widely publicized through newspapers and through websites of the everyone, so that, and they will also be required to stay at one particular place for some time, fixed timing, so that anybody wanting to reach at that spot, they must be available, number one, or through telephone or through anything. Social media cells, I have already mentioned that they will be established. So friends, now to kind of sum up. we are committed to deliver free, fair and transparent elections. Money power, freebies would be distribution, any of these would be on our special radar. We have directed the machinery, central and state both, to be extremely vigilant and careful and strict about this. We are sure that they will act. If they do not act, we'll make them act. As the time comes, we'll assess and ensure that they act on all of this. Media has always been our strongest ally. Election Commission recognizes this in its philosophy for a variety of reasons. It is through you that we come to know of anything which we are saying is not happening. And it is through you that we announce many things. Say, for instance, the schedule when we announce after going, reviewing all the states, only the press would be first to know. Nobody else can ever know about it. So you're very strong allies. We request through you again, 3-4 things. The applications like CVGIL, applications like Saksham, which is for our PWD candidates, PWD voters, the women awareness for their voting, youth, KYC, which is for knowing the candidate and its criminal background, is all popularized through your mediums, through the power of your pen and your channels, all alike. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the detailed briefing. Friends, floor is open for questions. Just keep sitting, just raise your hands, the micers will come to you. Second row over there. Yeah, please do that. Kindly.
Tap, light it, open it, close it, and text it, and send it, snap it on. Come on, let's see the brightness, and just feel the lightness. So impressive, be expressive. Oh, tap it, tap it, tap it, tap.
303 में 113 ओबीसी सांसद है और इसका अगर आप परसेंटेज निकालिएगा तो ये भी करीब 37% बैठा, 37% बॉस। बीजेपी के ओबीसी विधायक जो देश भर में अलग अलग राज्यों में बीजेपी के विधायक है, अगर आप सबको मिला लीजिए तो बीजेपी के जो ओबीसी विधायक है वो 1358 विधायक टोटल बैठते अलग अलग राज्यों का मिला के, उसमें से 365 ओबीसी है, यानी 27%, यानी जो कोटा है अलग अलग जगहों पर वहां भी 27% और बाकी जगह तो 35 और 37%। बीजेपी